Hey everybody. Now, I've always been interested in podcasts and online shows where people are just discussing anything, whether it's gaming or sports or whatever's going on in life, and I just thought I might want to give it a try. So, this is my first episode, and I'm hoping for this to be a weekly thing. I at least want it to happen few times a month, so we'll see how that goes. And I want at least one person with me at all times. I hope to get a couple of friends on with me talking about any news. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. And eventually I want to add some visual aspects as well as audio aspects. Some sound effects, just some music in the background, maybe for transitions towards different topics, and pictures just as far as whatever I'm talking about, and eventually maybe even video of what I'm talking about. So we'll see how this goes. I hope everybody enjoys it, and yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and introduce my friend who decided to come along and help me today. His name is Josh. We basically went to the same high school and, didn't hang out. We had different crowds during school, but we really started becoming friends when we worked at the commissary as baggers together. That's where we ended up hanging out and talking and stuff. So I got Josh here with me today. Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
So basically, I just wanted to talk about some gaming news that happened this week. Gamescom started at the beginning of this week, and really, Sony just had an amazing press conference. I just want to go through some low points before I end up getting to the higher points. PlayStation's the Super Smash Bros.
All-Stars.
Game, yeah, All-Stars Battle Royale. It ended up getting, delayed for another month.
Nice.
But Sly Cooper 4 is really the big delay. It got delayed till next year. Apparently, they wanted to delay it because it was going to come out this holiday, but they didn't want it to come out this holiday since there was so many big games like Halo 4 and the new Call of Duty. But really, they're going to release it February, March now, and there's a lot of big games coming out then too, so
Yeah,
really,
isn't BioShock coming out?
yeah, that's another game coming out the same time, February, March. So I don't know. I'm thinking there's something else behind that, something more to it. But yeah, and also, I don't know if you saw the Call of Duty Declassified game for the Vita, but that looked horrible. The graphics weren't even good. Like, you'd expect the graphics to be good on the Vita by now, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not interested in
Well,
that
I know,
at
but
all.
I'm just saying, like, it doesn't even look like a PSP game, and it's on the Vita, so that's how bad it
Yeah.
is. And I heard now that they got the developers that helped with the Resistance game on the PSP, which was also horrible, and they don't really have a good track record, so that
Wow.
just seems like a big mess. So now let's get to the good news for Sony. First off, the Vita, they announced a lot of stuff for it that, if you watched E3, they didn't really announce too much for the Vita, but it seems like they have a lot of good stuff. For one, they announced cross-buy. At first, it was just cross-gaming of some sort where you could play the game on the go if you had it on the PS3, but now, apparently, if you buy a copy of a game on either the PS3 or the Vita, you get the other copy for the opposite one as well. So,
Really?
yeah, it's pretty
That's
cool.
pretty good.
I mean, it's a good deal. I don't know how they're going to make money like that, but, I mean, that's good for us.
Yeah, yeah.
Another thing is they announced they're going to have a lot of support for PS1 games on the Vita, which is kind of a given. I don't know. I thought that was already happening, so I didn't know why they announced that, but that's still cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Another one is Killzone Mercenary. That's an alright game. I was never really into Killzone. Oh, by the way, me and Josh, we both don't have any Sony stuff. We don't have a PS3. We don't have a Vita. I have a PSP. I think
Well,
you
we have
do. You have a...
Sony TVs.
Well, yeah, but I'm just talking about like the gaming merchandise. Like, we have no way of playing it ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a game that's coming out. I know people know about the God of War Ascension. That's another game I'm not really too interested in. But yeah, I want to talk about the new game that they showed, Tearaway. You saw that game, right? The one that had the paper world and his head was like an envelope, and his mission is to like bring messages to people or something like that.
Yeah, I saw some screenshots. That's about it.
I don't know, I thought the gameplay was pretty cool with the touch capabilities, just as far as like you get to see your fingers popping out through the papers and stuff for some, and there's a lot of puzzles that have to do with the back touch screen. I thought it was pretty
Cool.
neat. But yeah, Tearaway, it looked really cool. I mean, it kind of makes me want to buy a Vita. I'm still waiting for a few more games, but that would
And a
definitely
price
be
drop,
one.
right?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Sony said that they weren't planning on dropping the price for the Vita this year. So,
Well, that makes sense. I mean, it came out this year.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. It's going a lot slower in terms of sales compared to the 3DS, so I don't know. But Sony's never been one to drop the prices so early. It took forever for the PS3 to get a price drop, so moving ahead, some stuff on the PS3, Puppeteer. I don't know if you saw that game, but it kind of looked a little like Little Big Planet, but not so much. I mean, it doesn't have the gameplay of that. It just looks kind of like that,
Has the art style?
the art style, the fact that it's a platformer. It doesn't have like the customizable levels and stuff like that, but the levels do move along, and all the enemies and all the other people in the game, they're all puppets as well, and the stage moves as you move, which I don't know, it looks pretty cool. The environments change as you walk forward or jump, so just another, I don't know, another creative game by Sony, and it's another exclusive. They have a lot of exclusives that are creative. They have a lot of realistic ones as well, and those are kind of boring in my opinion. Like, they're not my taste of games, but games like these are
Yeah.
what I like to see. I don't know, they're interesting. Another one was Rain. I don't know if you saw that one. It was
Nope.
it's basically about a boy that gets trapped. I think it was kind of like Limbo. He was following a girl or something, and he ends up going into this alternate dimension, which pretty much makes him a ghost in the real world. Like, nobody can see him, but the catch of the game is in the rain, his body shows up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just, I mean, like these indie games, or the just games that you wouldn't usually see coming out, especially this late, because the PS4 should be out in a few years, so it's nice to see a
Yeah.
lot of new IPs and a lot of new exclusives. Anyways, the last few games I wanted to get to, the Unfinished Swan, that one's a little older. It wasn't a new announcement at Gamescom, but they did show a little more, and that one
When was
is
that
also
announced?
I'm pretty sure they showed it at E3, but it was another interesting game. I don't know if you've seen that, but basically this kid, another kid following something. He follows a swan into this world, and the only way he can keep going forward, you have to throw paint at the screen to show the environments. So basically everything's
Wow.
white, and you throw paint, and it colors the world. Everything's invisible, but you throw paint in this one area, there could be like a table or something, so it was just another
Oh, that's
interesting
cool.
creative game. And it really makes me want to buy a PlayStation 3, so just another reason to finally get on to that after all these years. We'll see,
Yeah.
though. A lot of good games coming out next year for it as well. But anyways, the last one I wanted to talk about with Sony was the PS Move game. Guess they're still supporting that. They're coming out with a horror game called Until Dawn, and they just showed a trailer, but I don't know. I haven't really seen too much with the PS Move. I don't know. It looked kind of interesting. Kind of reminded me of Alan Wake as far as a guy and his girlfriend walking through the woods at night, and then they get to a cabin and all that stuff. But yeah. So that's basically it for Sony as far as the PS3 and the Vita. They're showing a lot of promising new games, a lot of new IPs. And they've really been doing that the last few years as far as, Flow, Flower, and Journey. All of those games were creative and unique, and, they aren't, they're PSN games, so they're not games that you would buy full retail, but it's nice to see, those are the kind of games that you want to see as far as, like, PSN and Xbox Live Arcade, as far as, like, indie games just coming out, and, they don't have to be full price, but they're still amazing games for $10, $15, so
Yeah.
I like to see more of that instead of, a bunch of DLC that's on the disc and you have to pay for it still. I hate that stuff. And
Yeah.
just as far as Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls with their stories, I mean, those kinds of games aren't my style. Like, I don't really like playing those kinds of games, but I can appreciate their stories. They have, like, I heard Beyond Two Souls has a 2,000 page script, and that's like,
Really?
yeah,
Damn.
it's a lot longer than a lot of movie scripts. So it's interesting that Sony and the developers partnering up with them, they They have a lot of stuff going as far as creativity and story, and I can't
But
wait to. Oh,
why create a game? Like, why don't you just make like a full like movie?
well, that's true. That's true. I guess
I
they wanted.
mean, not with real actors, but with, CG.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I don't know. I guess they kind of still want to have that interactive aspect or
Yeah, I
something.
guess.
But yeah, the last game is The Last of Us. They didn't show anything new really, but that is definitely one of the games to buy next year for PS3 owners. Moving on, Ubisoft. I just want to go ahead and talk about some of the Wii U titles that they showed off with Ubisoft. Well, Assassin's Creed 3 is cross-platform with other consoles, PS3 and Xbox 360, but the Wii U version's looking pretty nice. Did you watch any other videos on Assassin's Creed 3 lately, Josh?
Not recently, no.
They showed off a little more naval battles. I didn't watch them either. Kind of trying to stay away from videos from that game now. But yeah, they've been concentrating on the naval aspects, showing that off.
Yeah,
So, what do you think about that? The boats and the
I
gameplay
don't know.
and the
I just
sea.
think it's gonna be like another unnecessary addition to the game.
Kind of
Like the
like
tower defense in
yeah,
Revelations. I
yeah.
mean, it looks nice, and people are saying like it looks fun and stuff, but I don't know. It's just I don't see how it's gonna be fun if you're gonna be dying over and over. You know?
Yeah, and it's also a big thing that you're steering like a ship, so I don't know how
Yeah,
the
exactly.
controls work. But the environments, the weather changes and the water, those parts, those seem interesting and they look nice.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. And I wonder if you'll be able to like board ships and fight the other crews on the other ships, but we'll see what happens from there. Zombie U, that's an exclusive for the Wii U from Ubisoft, and that game's looking pretty nice. Yeah, they just showed another trailer with some gameplay, different weapons and stuff. I don't know. It looks pretty interesting. I would definitely buy it. I'm planning on buying a Wii U when it comes out, so that would be one of the games to get.
Yeah, a lot of people are like comparing it to Dark Souls. I don't
And
know.
how?
In that, like, okay, in Dark Souls, like if you die, you like lose all your stuff, and then you have to go back and pick up all your like weapons and armor and stuff. And
Ah,
it's the same way with Zombie U or whatever. Like you die, and then you have to go back to the location you died at and get your stuff before you die again or before another thing happens.
yeah, like before they disappear if you run out of time.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
So they're gonna be making it like a tough game, I guess, a challenging game.
Yeah. Well, now I'm even more interested. I still haven't played Dark Souls, Demon Souls, so man, that does sound interesting. Another game, Rabid Lands, the Raving Rabbit series. I don't know if you saw the gameplay trailer or any of the screenshots showing all the different asymmetrical gameplay between the gamepad and just the normal Wiimotes, but it looks really, really interesting and fun. Never been a fan of those games, but even though it looks like they're aimed at younger kids and stuff, those kinds of games always seem to be for all ages. You know, if you have friends over or something, it's just have a good time. And
Yeah,
that game, it really looks like you could have a lot of fun, just as far as never having an experience like that before. But
yeah.
what I wanted to get at was Rayman Legends. There was rumors that it was going to be an exclusive for the Wii U, and it ends up being true. It is an exclusive for the Wii U. Now, I know you just recently got Rayman Origins, and you've been playing it the past day or two. How do you feel about the fact that the sequel is going to be exclusive to the Wii U? Are you going to buy the Wii U? You mad? Anything?
I don't really mind. Yeah, like I think that's a game that would make me buy a Wii U. They're using the controller, the what is it called? The Wii U tablet or whatever?
The Wii U gamepad.
Gamepad. Yeah. I don't know, like they're doing a lot of interesting things with the gamepad that you can't really do on any other console, and I'd rather have that experience on the Wii U.
Yeah, definitely. So you would buy? Would you buy a Wii U?
I would, yeah.
Would you buy it just for that game and the game's coming out at launch, or are you still gonna wait for until more games come out before you buy it?
I think yeah, probably like Rayman, Legends, and Assassin's Creed, and the Mario games, and I think that's
Yeah.
a good lineup, and maybe even Zombie U. There's a lot of
Yeah.
good games coming out for it.
All right. So moving on to Capcom, they had quite a few things shown there. One of them would be the main one I want to talk about is Remember Me, which is a new IP. It's about a woman To what I know, her job is to insert dreams into people's memories and change their perceptions in their minds for whatever reasons. And it happens to her, and that's where the story takes off. She's wondering like what was her purpose and all that stuff. You know, you've
Oh,
heard those
damn.
kinds of stories before.
Yeah.
Have you seen the gameplay? What do you
I
think of
haven't
the game so
seen
far?
any gameplay of it yet. I've seen a few screens and like read what it's about, but that's about it.
Yeah, but it's nice to see, new IP that seems interesting. Even though the new consoles are coming soon, it's nice to see that new IPs are still coming out from other developers.
Yeah, I read a recent article or interview from Capcom. They were saying that they want to bring out the first game for these current consoles, and they want to establish it as a major IP for them, so they can bring out more for the next gen.
Oh, that would make sense. That is a smart move. I hope the game lives up to what it looks to be so far cuz it does look
Yeah.
promising. Another game obviously that they showed again was Resident Evil 6 and staying away from the gameplay cuz it's another one of those games that I might be interested in buying and I don't want to see the cutscenes cuz they have been showing a lot of stuff from that. I'm sure you already heard it has three campaigns and then a fourth one after you beat all three, and it seems like it's a big game. I'm just hoping that each campaign is like, I hope they put enough effort into each campaign and that they're all enjoyable and fun. I think it's interesting how they did it because I heard like Leon's campaign is more horror, like the old school Resident Evil 4 and back before that, and then Chris is the more action zombie game from 5 and so on and so forth. So it's kind of cool and interesting that they decided to change it up for each campaign. I'm hoping each campaign lasts about 6 hours each. I think that would be best. Like that would be worth the money. And I don't know if you saw the kind of multiplayer aspect of it too. One of the modes, I think it's called Outbreak or something, and basically you play the campaign and other people can join your game as zombies and they can interact with you like that. Like instead of AI zombies, you'll be playing real people zombies, kind of like Left 4 Dead, but not so,
Well, that
like
sounds pretty cool.
yeah, it's like Left 4 Dead, but instead of being special zombies, it's just normal zombies. And I don't know how many people can join. I'm not sure if they said what the max amount of people, but it would be interesting if like a lot of people could join one game or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a game that I'm kind of looking at. Not sure if I'll buy it full price, but definitely will be looking at. They're also coming out with a website, ResidentEvil.net, I think it was, and basically it's like Call of Duty Elite, but free. So that was just nice to see. I think Halo also for Bungie, they had a website like that, so that is always nice to see, especially when it's free. Devil May Cry, they showed a trailer off showing one of the older antagonists as a friendly character in this reboot, and everybody knows it's probably not going to be, yeah, of course they wouldn't show him as a nice guy in the trailer if he was really the nice guy, because that would take away from the surprise, so I'm sure he's going to end up being a bad guy anyways.
Yeah.
It was interesting to read the comments from the articles and stuff below the video of the new trailer because a lot of people weren't interested in that game after they saw that Dante's new look wasn't, it was a new look. It wasn't his old white hair and all that stuff. So a lot of people were put off by that. But it's interesting to see now that after these past few trailers, more people are, they're becoming more and more interested and they're all right with the reboot. It is a reboot. It's not like they
Yeah.
changed him completely. It's a reboot. So I don't know. The gameplay always looked good, so I don't understand what people were about. I know people don't like change, but as long as the gameplay is fine, just have fun. It doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll have an alternate character skin or something for people that really don't want to play the new Dante, but I had no problems. What else was there? They showed off a little Okami HD. I'm not sure. Have you played Okami?
No, I never got a chance.
Well, it is an amazing game, and it looks even more amazing. I don't know. They're selling for $20. I'm not sure if I would pay that much if I did have a PS3 to buy it, but played the PS2 and the Wii versions, and I love that game. So it's just nice to see. The last thing I want to talk about Capcom is their new Mega Man game. Now, Capcom, they haven't really been giving Mega Man too many game appearances besides a few fighting games where it's like a cross between two different games and their characters join up and he's one of the characters like Marvel vs. Capcom or such.
Yeah.
But yeah, they haven't really given Mega Man any games. There was a few that were supposed to come out for the 3DS that were canceled, and this game apparently is for the iOS devices. And
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw
yeah,
that.
yeah, it's basically every Mega Man world combined. They like to do these combination things now with their Street Fighter and Tekken and the Project X and now this recently. So I don't know. I don't know. I just wish it was a console game or a 3DS Vita game. I just don't understand why they hate Mega Man so much. He's one of their best characters and everybody always asks for him. So I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
they can make so much money if they just, listen to the fans, but whatever, I guess. Okay, next, just want to talk a little Activision. Me and Josh, we're not too big of fans of the COD series, Call of Duty, but Black Ops 2, in my opinion, even though I won't be buying it, there's way too many games coming out that I would want to buy another game, and Call of Duty's multiplayer will suck people in. I know that. It does look promising, Josh. They're completely changing everything. The interface, the multiplayer aspects are all being redone, and I know it won't change your mind, but it does look interesting. I might buy it like 2 years later when it's on sale, but by then there's going to be two other Call of Duties.
Yeah.
Call of Duty is always going to be Call of Duty, I guess, in your eyes, no matter what. Is
Yeah,
that
I just
correct?
I don't like military shooters like that.
Yeah, I understand. And we're about to get to a few more. I just want to bring up World of Warcraft really quick. Did you see that opening cinematic?
Not yet, no. What happened?
Oh, okay. Well, let's just say it looked pretty nice. Pandas. Pandas are awesome at
Oh,
martial
nice.
arts, I guess. So yeah, that's enough about Activision. Not too much there. EA, I just want to bring up Battlefield, another shooter, another military shooter, really quick. What do you think about the fact that they're selling everything, Battlefield 3, all the DLC maps, and all the expansion packs for $70?
Wait,
Because
what?
they basically it's like one of those game of the year editions or those things that come out after a year or so where the game basically has every DLC, every expansion pack. They bundle it all up and they sell it for cheap.
But why is it $70? How is that cheap? Well, I mean,
Well,
uh,
because the game, like, let's say the game, it should be like $30, $40 by now by itself, and then the DLC's $15 on Xbox Live, PSN, and there's like a few DLC map packs, I think. And then if you remember, they brought out like 4 expansion packs with all these different weapons and more maps and other stuff like that. So, I mean, that is a good deal for all that, but I was only bringing it up because I was seeing a lot of people were complaining about it because they paid for everything full price, and I guess they're
yeah.
mad. Well, I can understand that they're mad because other people are getting a good deal, but they did get the game a year before, right? So, doesn't that
Yeah,
kind of
that's true. They've
that
had
kind
all
of
that time.
justifies it?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I would say I do agree with them that, people that buy the game when it's full retail or, in the first few months, or they already do this with pre-ordering, but they should get, something else. I don't know. I guess it's asking too much, but it does seem like sometimes, developers and stuff could throw people bones. Those people
Yeah.
that spend all the money at the very beginning only to see that all this stuff goes on sale a year later. But again, they did get it a year before, so they had all that whole year to play.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I don't really know why they're complaining. Moving along from that though, Army of Two, another game, another shooter from EA. Eh, you know,
Yeah.
it's the third entry, and apparently the two main protagonists from the first two games aren't gonna be controllable anymore, but they will be in the game. But still, it's just not the same, Like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
I hate when they do that. I Salem and Rios are those are the two guys, and I haven't played the second one yet, but the first one, I don't know. It's a shooter, and it's just your average shooter, but just as far as the customization of guns and masks, I don't know if you ever saw that for Army 2, but it was just, I don't know, it was an interesting aspect, and it was a pretty good game for, I bought it for like cheap, so.
So are they expanding on that with the third one, or?
Well, yeah, of course, they're still keeping the customizations. They're probably going to add a lot more for guns and masks, but yeah, basically everybody's just complaining because it's not the two main characters from the last two games, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. They said they still play a huge part in the story, but, that could just mean that they're shown all the time, but what does that matter if you're not
Yeah.
controlling them? um, Dead Space 3, they showed that off again. Haven't been watching anything from that because I haven't played the second one yet. Missed out the nice sale from Best Buy on that. But, yeah, Dead Space 3 kind of losing its horror aspect just like Resident Evil. Added another player, but I don't know, it could still be a fun game. I still love the fact that the HUD is, it's not on the screen, it's through guns and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And also just the whole aspect of being able to dismember. That's an aspect that not too many games have. And the last one would be Crysis 3. They showed more gameplay for that, but again, haven't really been paying attention because I haven't played the first or the second. But yeah, that game, it's like, just another one of your shooters, but the part about those games is that they have really nice graphics, supposedly, especially on the PCs, so, still haven't tried them out, but I'm definitely looking forward to that eventually. With all these other games coming out, it's hard to, want to play those games.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of shooters for EA. Yeah, I would like to see another Mirror's Edge or something, but I guess I'll have to wait till next gen for that. Square Enix. Hitman. Have you seen any of the new Hitman stuff? Are you interested in that game?
No, I haven't been keeping track. I don't think I never really played the previous one, so.
Oh yeah, I haven't either, but I don't know. It just
Oh.
looks like another good game from Square Enix.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought it was coming out next year, but I guess it's coming out in that November timeline. So I highly doubt I'm gonna be able to get that for a while. But again, one of those games to keep in my radar. Another good game from Square Enix and Eidos is Tomb Raider. Comes out next year, but they showed off some screens for it, and it looks pretty nice.
I think it looks nice, yeah.
It looks nice, like.
Yeah. I'm not really sure about the gameplay yet, but I'll wait until I can play the full game to judge it, I guess. Or a demo or something.
Yeah, that's true, because even though it does, like we said, it looks nice, I haven't played a Tomb Raider-like game, or Uncharted even, because we don't have PS3s. But yeah, I haven't really gotten to play those kinds of games yet, so I'm also kind of, interested in seeing how the gameplay will be from my point of view. I think it'll be fun, though, just because she has a bow, so I love bows in games. That's why I'll probably end up buying Crysis 3. But yeah, just talking about screens, they also showed some more screens for Deadpool. That's a game that I'm probably not going to buy, but the game just looks nice.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans, a lot of comic book fans, a lot of Marvel fans, they've been asking for a Deadpool game, so they're finally going to get it next year. Hopefully it's a good game so they enjoy it. And they announced that Wolverine will be in it, but everybody could probably see that coming if they've read the comics and they know Deadpool. Final Fantasy VII came out on the PC a week or two ago, and they took it back because it didn't work. Apparently, they brought it out, but it wasn't working. So
Wait,
everybody
did they not check it? Like, make sure that it was alright before releasing it?
I don't know. Square Enix the last few years as far as their Japanese games, they've kind of been a step below what they usually produce.
Yeah.
I won't even get started on 14. The fact that Versus 13's not even out yet, and a lot of people haven't really been fans of 13 and 13-2, even though the gameplay and the story, they're still pretty decent Final Fantasy games. But yeah, so it came out the other day again. People that bought it when it was messed up got refunded, so that was nice of them. And it's
Nice.
currently $2 cheaper than it will eventually be in a month. So at $10, I guess it's a steal if you haven't already gotten the game that's been out for so long.
Yeah.
One of the greatest games ever. I might buy it. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see. Cause there's just, there's so many other games. We already talked about that.
Yeah, and $60 games like each. I'm gonna be spending like 120 bucks this fall.
It's gonna be
Just two
fun.
games.
It's gonna be fun for my wallet. I don't know. I want to buy five, or I want to buy five, but I'm probably gonna try to just buy three.
Yeah, that's good.
But we will get to that at the end. I just want to go over a few more games. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Have you seen the latest trailer for that?
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know you. I know you haven't played Bayonetta, and I don't think you played any of the Devil May Cry games. But those kinds of games, especially from Platinum Games, they made Bayonetta and Vanquish. They have a very good track record, and I'm glad that Kojima got them to make this game because I love the gameplay of their games, so I can't wait to play it. It looks crazy, and a lot of people complain because Metal Gear Solid is about stealth, but
But
this
this
isn't
is
Metal
like a
Gear Solid.
spin-off. Yeah.
Exactly, it's not Metal Gear Solid. It's Rising, so it doesn't even
Yeah.
have Snake.
Yep.
Another game, Star Wars 1313. They just showed a little bit more of the trailer. It had some of the gameplay from the E3 presentation, but just a good game. It looks good. I mean, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but
Yeah.
just another good-looking game for 2013. I'm still wondering if it'll look that good on consoles, or if that's just the PC gameplay.
It'll
We will
probably
see
look
on
that good on like next gen.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of these games, like, you really can't wait to play them, but you kind of wish that the next gen consoles were coming out soon so that
Yeah,
the
yeah.
graphics would be even nicer. But Injustice, Gods Among Us, have you seen that? The DC character
I haven't
brawler?
seen that, no. I mean, I've
Yeah,
seen like, screenshots, but not like gameplay.
yeah. I mean, I'm a big DC fan, so it does look interesting to me. I would want to play it, but I don't really like buying fighter games for $60.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
and I don't know, some of the characters look kind of weird. And there's a lot of Batman characters. I'm hoping to see more DC Universe characters that we've never seen in games before, cuz we always get to play as Batman and, the Joker and Catwoman, so it's nice to see Nightwing, but I don't know if you just saw they showed Catwoman and she looks kind of I don't know. A lot of armor. I don't know. I guess it'll go into her gameplay cuz she has claws, but I don't know. They just look kind of awkward, but I guess we'll have to see. Slowing down, just want to talk about Borderlands 2. It's kind of old now, but the Necromancer, it's on track. It's ahead of schedule, actually, for being made. And did you see the controversy behind the Necromancer's skill tree, the best friends forever?
No.
Oh, well, basically, the Necromancer has a tree skill called Best Friends Forever, and I think it was worded wrong because when it was brought up, it was brought up as girlfriend mode, where it would be easier to aim and it just overall easier for people to play. So
Damn.
basically, like girlfriend mode, where you know, I guess in their eyes, the girlfriend of a gamer wouldn't know how to play a shooter, so she would need easier gameplay. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
I guess that's what got some people mad. Well, a lot of girls mad, but I don't think it should be taken too seriously. uh, but yeah, that game comes out next month. They've been showing way too much. I think it's about time to stop showing,
Yeah.
gameplays, trailers, and talking about it so much. Just let people get anticipated for it. And just the last thing I wanted to talk about before we get to the end, the 2K13, the NBA 2K13 game, the new one. I know you're not into sports, but I just wanted to bring up that they are going to have the 1992 Olympic Dream Team in the game. You'll get to play as every member except for one, Scottie Pippen, who is one of the higher extent players on that team, right behind the likes of Michael Jordan and Magic and them. So I don't know. It's just kind of you've been if you've been watching the Olympics, especially basketball, you've been hearing all this talk about the 92 Dream Team, and it's just kind of awkward and kind of weird that they would have everybody on the team in the game except for one. Kind of takes the team out of Dream Team.
Yeah.
But that's about it. So I just want to now go over some of the games that came out over the past few weeks and the games to come out next week. So obviously there was the Summer of Arcade. A few more titles came out. All of them were pretty much meh. Deadlight was meh. Hybrid was meh. The multiplayer was messed up for a day, so they took it down for a little while. Dust, though. Dust does look nice.
Yeah, it plays nice too.
Um, yeah, I think we both would be interested in playing and buying it, but maybe not for the $15 price tag.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, it does look smooth, and it is easily the best game to have come out this summer of arcade.
Yeah.
Hopefully next year and the years to come, they'll have all the games on that high of a caliber. Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance came out a few weeks ago, along with The Last Story for the Wii. And both of those games I want to eventually buy. I still need to get a 3DS, and I still need to turn on my Wii for the first time in a year or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, gonna get to those games eventually. Persona 4 Arena came out on the 7th of this month, and that game looks amazing.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah,
2 out of 6.
yeah, gonna play it eventually when it goes down a little. Just a few days ago, Darkstalkers 2, Sleeping Dogs. Interested in any of those?
Sleeping Dogs, yeah. But oh god. I feel so cheap, but I mean $60, you know? I'm saving my money
Yeah,
for the big games coming out this fall.
it's understandable. There's way too many games coming out when they could have, come out with a few games here and there every month of the summer.
Yep,
I,
exactly.
I think they would have gotten just as much sales, maybe even more, just because of the fact that there's no games. There's no other games to buy during that time.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do that next gen. But yeah, just your average muscle dude from hell killing people.
Yeah.
Sleeping Dogs though does look interesting. I will wait. Hopefully it'll go down a little. I would buy it at 40 maybe, but not with all these games. So eventually.
Yeah.
Asian GTA does look interesting. New Super Mario Bros. 2 coming out in a few days. Don't have a 3DS, but I don't know. It's been getting average reviews, so it didn't really appeal to me as much, just for the fact that the gold coin thing. I don't know if that. I don't know.
And it kind of looks more of the same.
Yeah, more of the
I mean, I know it's
same.
a sequel, but come on, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, they're probably not getting tired of Mario, like the character himself. It's just
the
Nintendo.
gameplay.
It doesn't seem like they're spending that much time on just like the music, the environments. It sounds the same and it looks the same as the last game.
Yeah, especially because New Super Mario Bros. They look very similar to the ones like the one that came out on the Wii, New Super Mario Bros.
Yeah,
For the Wii, and they're coming out
and
with
the
one
DS
for the. Yep, and they're coming out for the Wii U as well. So
and
uh,
3DS. I mean, like, what the heck? What are they thinking?
yeah, yeah, they need to do more like, cause I'm pretty sure the 3D Mario game that came out for the 3DS, that one was pretty good from what I
Yeah,
heard. So they should do more like that. Or even I know Super Mario Sunshine didn't get a lot of love on the GameCube, but that was a unique game and I liked it. So I don't know. Just as far as next week, Ragnarok Odyssey. I don't know if you've seen that game, but that's a game coming out on the Vita that I would want to play. So I'm pretty sure I might end up buying a Vita soon. It's finally starting to get a lot of good games. I won't buy it until it gets a price drop.
you know
Whether
they might have some deals going on for Black Friday.
that is true. That is true.
Yep.
And Ragnarok Odyssey is an RPG game. I'm sure everybody's heard of Ragnarok from, the internet. So that is definitely a game that I'm looking forward to playing. And then just Transformers Fall of Cybertron. I've never played a Transformers game, but I heard the last one was actually really good as far as multiplayer. I don't know if you've heard about the multiplayer, but a lot of people like it.
Nice.
I mean, I probably won't get to it, but it'll just be nice to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's about it. We covered Gamescom, most of the gaming news, the big news. This was running a little longer than I expected, but I just like to thank you, Josh, for joining me. I hope you will join me for the
All right.
future episodes of this. Maybe we'll get somebody else too, but it'll probably just be me and you.
No.
But yeah, thank you, Josh, and
You're welcome.
yeah.
All right.